Hello, class. I'm glad that you're taking to your fantasy assignment so well. Brandon Sanderson, I heard that you were having trouble deciding on what fantasy book to write. Have you made a decision? I'm going to write all the fantasy! Brandon, you need to choose one. You can't just have a kitchen sink of a book. Yes, I can! Why does it work so well? Why do I care about all of these, 2,000 point of view characters? You are going to love my work! Life before death. Strength before weakness. Journey before destination! That got out of hand. So, The Way of Kings is a mishmash of every fantasy genre I can think of. I think that there's really no way to talk about it without describing it as just a mishmash of everything that's been planned somehow to tie together into one neat bow, a really subversive, modernist, I guess is a word I would throw around, take on the fantasy genre as a whole. I really can't describe it without spoiling the beginning chapters, so I guess I'm going to do that now. Warning for the first 4 chapters and, a reference to chapter 11. So the book prologue opens with, a bunch of ancient warriors imitating the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 with their giant swords atop a mountain, being we are the heralds of destruction, and then someone being like, yeah, this life kind of sucks of final violence, and you know what? You're right. I'm out! Next chapter. I'm going to assassinate the king. I sure hope someone stops me. And nobody did. Next chapter. I'm a farmer boy. I'm out to look on the new horizons for something. Hello, Commander. Hello, my name is Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I'm 19. How are you doing, young Luke Skywalker's character? Well, I'm new and I'm full of excitement, and this is the battlefield, so I'm going to do what I can. Oh my god! Oh god! He's dead. Cut. I'm just a witty noblewoman who wants to get into the good graces of a scholarly woman in order to improve the standing of my family. I hope I look impressive to her. I'm not super impressed. But you can hang out here and... Alright, you know what that means? The heist is on. And this is just, some of the main point of view characters. I wasn't joking with, 2,000 point of view characters. I think it's, something like 19 or something like that. But, gosh! I'm not even covering the major ones because they aren't even introduced until later. If I introduced the last major one, though, it would definitely be... Hi, I'm a great general. And you know what book I love most? The Way of Kings. So I can't really describe the text other than it's a bunch of different fantasy novels that have all somehow been cobbled together into one fantasy work and tied together and somehow made to work. I give a crap about the thousands of characters. A warning that the first 3 hours will be mostly you diving into exposition and being okay, who is this? What's going on? Why do I care? But aside from that, once you get used to who these characters are, you'll just keep going for 48 hours. Actually, the most recent books in this series are about 4 pages off from War and Peace. So, warning, if you are going into this, it's gonna be a long ride. I would recommend this to an intermediate fantasy reader. That 3-hour hump of exposition in the beginning is a hurdle to get over, but if you can deal with that, I think you will love this work. The Way of Kings gets better the more fantasy you've read. If you are familiar with Lord of the Rings, with The Wheel of Time, with Star Wars, with just, The Last Unicorn, with any traditional fantasy or hero's journey kind of story, you will appreciate what The Way of Kings is doing. However, the author does tend to update very regularly one book every 3 years, and the last one came out in 2020, so expecting it in 2023. He updates progress on his Twitter, which is baffling. Yeah, it's just something constantly to look forward to. It's very reliable. I highly recommend it, being one of the 5-star books added to the collection. I bet that there's going to be a lot of those added this year. 365 books is nothing to sneer at. If you're interested in just the opening skit to this review, I've decided to make that into a separate video that I uploaded right before this one. That's all. That's all. May life go before death. May strength go before weakness. And may the journey always come before the destination. Sometimes the best ideas in life come from strange places, like making an entire magic system to justify making giant swords and armor practical. Really?